Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Sitterman, joined as always by Tony Psyche. Tony, we got a very special edition of the show in that the Pancration Nation has reared their ugly head, and they're here tonight. Who are they?
You know what? That's what I want to know. On the internet, they made a big scene, a big splash. You know, we got Love in a Can, we got the Penetrator, we have H1N1. And, you know, these guys were talking and say, you know what? You guys are getting ready. We're going to be making a big splash. And today's their debut.
It turns out this was all a hoax, man. These guys have been on, they've been trolling on our website, and for the longest time they've done the best job. You're gonna see as we go on just exactly what these two, what these guys are. They're brothers, and they all train in the basement with one another. But your main event, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think it's a match that could be a pretty good one.
Yes, we do. We got James Francis Scrappy going against Jorge Molina, the Aztec Warrior. We haven't seen him lately. But, you know, two guys, and Jorge says, I'm going to knock you out. Scrappy says, good luck trying. I'm going to try to do what I do best, and that's
knock you out.
That's right.
All right, it's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. In the flyweight division, we got a kid that needs no introduction here at the Ultimate Combat Experience. The People's Warrior. The People's Warrior is here to fight. Tony, what do you say about that?
I mean, what's all that about? I mean, we got a guy named Mike Dove, which is coming in and from North Ogden.
Called himself the People's Warrior.
I guess he misses that name. I guess he wants the name to return or something.
Josh Berkman says, I got a little something to say about that, pal. Who is this People's Warrior character fighting?
Well, he's fighting Tyler Allred. Tyler Allred coming from
Absolute MMA.
Absolute MMA, yeah. And we've seen him once. He didn't do so well, and he's ready to come back.
Now he's fighting the People's Warrior. It's a flyweight division. Check it out. Both his two previous visits to the cage, Mike Dove's fights have been almost identical. He was being dominated and then ended up reversing fortunes and coming out on top and choking his opponent out. He's hoping to get rid of that first part, Tony.
Yeah. Well, we got the People's Warrior, what, 5'9", 135 pounds from North Ogden.
And hoping to breeze into a victory tonight, but just bleed. Tyler Allred says, you know, it's not going to be quite that easy. And, you know, he says he's here to fight tonight.
Yeah, fighting there with Absolute MMA, and he's 5'11", 145 pounds from West Jordan, Utah, and known as a ground-and-pound fighter.
All right, just bleed already, he says, man. All right, Dave Slaystead, your referee for this contest, giving a couple last-minute instructions to these two fighters and a touch of the gloves. And looks like we've got round number one underway here with mixed martial arts action here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Well, like you always say, you like these little guys because they usually come out pretty fierce.
You know, there's never a short supply of action. You know, sometimes, oh, wow, that was some big shots right there by Just Bleed.
Wow, you better watch out.
Letting Mike Dove know he's here to fight tonight.
Well, the chin check over there, and old Dove. Well, he looks like he wasn't too affected by it. He gives him one back.
Returns one of his own. Nice left hand. Caught Just Bleed off balance a little bit and sent him across the cage. So right now we're about even, Tony.
Yeah, this whole fight looks a little off balance. A little off. The timing's just, you know, it's interesting to see. Would you attribute that to like nerves getting in here?
Oh, they're just new guys, man. They're in here having a good time, and yeah, absolutely, a little bit of nervousness coming through. And right here is exactly what Mike Dove said he was going to do. He wasn't going to get caught in a choke before he caught his opponent in a choke. This time he's going to take it right to him and try to finish this thing early.
Oh yes, and trying to get that guillotine on, but he's having kind of a hard time getting that on.
Well, he's trying to put a guillotine on from top and didn't really secure position. He didn't keep his mount, and now he's kind of found himself in a little bit of an awkward spot. Maybe trying to do a little more of a neck crank here and just kind of twist the head off of Tyler Allred.
Now, have we seen both these? We've seen. I know I've seen.
We've seen both these guys.
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
Mike Dove's fought twice, and like we said a moment ago, both his visits were identical. Well, he came in and things went exactly the same. So far, not quite the same. Looks like Tyler Allred's given a little bit more of a challenge than his last two opponents.
Trying to crawl up the body there and try and make it a little bit more difficult for Mike
he's
Dove.
trying to stuff an arm, look for a triangle choke, but Mike Dove's not going to go away quite so easy. He's going to punch you in your face when you try to do that.
Especially with these long guys with a long reach. That's
yeah, it kind of neutralizes your guard a little bit. It certainly does. This gives them the opportunity to come up over the top and smack in your noggin. But right here now, being pulled closer, you're not able to sit up and do quite so much damage from up top.
Just kind of holding him down with that leg there. And what is that move?
He just applied a figure four right there. And, you know, if you can put this on tight, I've seen guys tap from it. You squeeze the breath right out of him. But, you know, it looked like Mike Dove doing a pretty good job of disrupting that by picking him up and slamming him, just giving enough room to get his hips up. And that way he's not putting so much pressure on the diaphragm there and get a little deeper breath. That's the one thing about these long legs, man. They're dangerous. They can get you from anywhere.
Yeah, long legs, long arms, man. They're both doing pretty good. Okay, he's out of there. So let's see it. Back up on their feet now.
Back up on the feet, and this is where the action was earlier, fast and furious. But you know, neither guy was really dominant. They kind of both landed a couple big shots. Not a whole lot of defense in this one, Tony.
No. You see, as they throw their arms, or their hands go down, and
well, the first thing I can tell a new guy when you watch him, he doesn't move his head at all, because that head's like a big block of cheese just kind of sitting up there waiting to be picked off. And right here, both these guys, round number one is in the books, and that was a pretty close round to score.
I would say it was really close. And his fans are Mike Dove fans over there screaming in the corner.
He's got a bunch of them here again. The lovely Jamie.
Ooh, Jamie.
Bringing round number two your way. It looks like we're going to go to a commercial break before we see round number two. You see Mike Dove's fans right there. They'll be back when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, you missed round number 1 between Tyler Just Bleed Allred and Mike the People's Warrior Dove. Now, we mentioned in the open to this fight that somebody takes exception to that right there.
Three punches in a row.
It looks like Tyler Allred might have taken exception to that name as well. Nice combination, and looks like, man, oh man, was Mike Dove been in this spot before?
Oh, he did, you know, and I thought Allred did a good job punching him, take him down his guard, rolling right into mountain, and unfortunately.
Nice little series of moves, but I tell you, Mike Dove's been here before. And he's not going to tap to this. But here's the difference is, you see right there, Tyler Allred has those long legs, and we talked about how he's able to kind of squeeze the breath out of you with that figure 4. He gave it up right there, but well, that might have been a good spot for him. Now his guard is completely open, and looks like Mike Dove's able to get out of it.
You know, well, one thing about this is the guys look very evenly matched, and that's fun to watch.
No doubt about that. There's certainly a great pairing here. And looks, you know, seems almost as though, you know, where one is weak, the other is also kind of weak in that area, and where their strengths are, they match up very well. It's not like one of those matches where you've got a dominant stand-up fighter versus a dominant grappler. These guys are very well matched.
Only thing about with this, when you're squeezing and rolling around, you sure do get tired. This takes the air and energy right out of you. That
again, you know, when you're on your feet and you see a guy that doesn't move his head, that's the first tell that he's a beginner. And then on the ground, they really show that they're a novice when they just kind of grab something and squeeze and hold on to it. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it really makes you look tired. And you know, you don't have much left in the tank to do any of this stuff you're trying to do right now because you've squozen everything out of your arms already.
He goes, come on, come right in here. Let me put you into my guillotine. Let me try to put you in my guard. And
better yet, this looks more comfortable over here.
I don't like that. You know, get in that figure 4 and get your breath taken out of you. No way.
Yeah, it's not fun. That's for sure. Well, you know, the problem here though is Mike Dove's got to sit up and he's got to do something. He's got to drop some bombs because he keeps kind of laying and praying in that guard, and it's just a matter of time before Tyler Allred's able to find something and attack it. Not a whole lot of action here in round number 2. Looks like Dave Selstad agrees, and he's going to come in and break these two up and stand them back up on their feet.
Good call, Dave.
Wow,
good call.
Dave did make a good call right there. Didn't shove anyone or anything.
No.
That was impressive. All right. Right there again. Boy, Mike Dove has taken it on the chin a few times. And on his feet, he's got to keep his hands up.
Well, Tyler has definitely been more dominant up on his feet, that's for sure.
Well, here goes the big head squeeze again.
No, not again.
Maybe, you know, maybe they've got to expand the repertoire. Well, there you go. You tried to pull that guillotine choke off one too many times.
His shoulder right into his his elbow right into his throat. That ain't going to feel any good.
Well, that's certainly not comfortable either. And well, it looks like round number 2 is going to be part of the history books here. And boy, neither one of these two are any too eager to get up and head back to their corners, are they?
Oh, I hate that feeling. I've been there.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, too.
It's like,
you know, I'm there after walking upstairs nowadays, but Sylvia, the lovely Sylvia, bring around number 3. Well, I'm there after watching Sylvia for 5 or 10 seconds. I got to lay down.
Hopefully she refreshes you.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on, let's go.
These guys are going to stare it out for a little bit here. He's kind of just ducking away over there, and well, he's been tagged on the chin a couple times. That'll make you a little bit gun shy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this, Tony, you made a great observation earlier about, you know, the squeezing and how it really fatigues you. This is the end result of that. And
hands are completely down.
Nothing you do when you're this tired looks good. The punches are horrible. There's nothing on them. And then when you're going to try to grab onto them, there's not going to be anything there either. The kicks are ugly. You know, and again, hey, you got to give both these guys credit. They're showing a lot of heart, you know, sticking it out. 3 rounds of MMA is not easy to do, and I know that at least Mike Dove, he's not made it this far into a fight yet. He's been fortunate enough to beat his opponents early on.
Oh, he's going one way, the other way.
Think left, go right, man. You know, whatever works at this point.
Away. He's fighting with his periphery vision.
This is all instinct, baby. There is no thought or training that's being utilized here whatsoever.
And you know what I've seen? When your arms go down, you get tired. This is all the recipe for a knockout.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Somebody's primed to be knocked out. Problem is, you can't get enough power to knock somebody out. So
Yeah.
You know, I think you'll see a lot of fatigue outs more than you will knockouts at this point. Somebody just says, you know what, all right, that hurt, I'm done. Which I wouldn't be too terribly surprised to see here.
Dave slapping his hand away from the cage. That hurt.
That was the best shot of the round. All right, more squeezing. You know, this is one of those fights, though, Tony. You got to start now thinking about what are judges seeing and what have they seen in rounds 1, 2, and 3. It's a tough round to score, a tough fight to score. It's been very, you know, there was hot flashes for each of them, then they've both gone cold, and then they've been in trouble, and lots of squeezing. And it is a hard fight to really nail a score for.
Yeah, just, man.
You know, I think some of the bigger shots have been landed by Tyler Allred.
Yep.
He's landed the bigger shots, but, you know.
But at the end here, he just bending over and looking even more tired, and sometimes that plays a big thing in the judges, especially at the end.
Who's in better shape at the end of the fight? You know, that's a good tell as well. And, you know, it's a tough one to score. I could really see it going either right here. Mike Dove is not going to win this fight. I mean, literally, that right there, I think, sealed the deal for Tyler Allred.
Yep. And he's got that arm encircled, and he just won't be able to get this on.
Well, he's just hanging on. Neither one of them are going to try to do a whole heck of a lot right here, other than
he's ready to go to sleep.
He's counting sheep right there.
Please, come on, where's the clock?
Right there, there's a big ice-cold pitcher of beer in his head.
Well, he's only got 7 seconds left, and just hold on. Put that figure 4. You're not getting out of this.
We're definitely going to see a judge's decision on this one. And you know, as I said, I think that Tyler Allred stole that round and consequently stole the fight right there at the end there with, you know, a nice series of punches and then the attempted submission at the end there. I think he's going to win this fight.
Oh, I do too. And look at that. His bleeding now. Well, yeah, that must have been from the last barrage over there.
I think a good time was had out by all, but you know.
Winner by unanimous decision. Give it up for Tyler.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Absolutely right. Just bleed. Tyler Allred did just enough damage to make his opponent bleed to get a victory tonight, and he's got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, he does, especially when his nickname matches his chest.
Absolutely. Tyler Ayers Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555. Let me ask you this. Okay, so you guys have fought once. You want to do it again? You want to fight that guy again?
This is my first time. It was a good close match. I wouldn't mind training and going at it again.
I like the way you're thinking, my man. Great job tonight. In fact, I'm not even going to say it. You were good enough tonight. You did a hell of a job. It was a great fight. So much love for being part of the experience.
I loved it. It was way fun.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
So you're training over there with Rob Hanley over at Absolute. We really like them over there. They do a good job. What's next for you? Are you going to do this again?
Gonna go home and cry.
Why would you cry?
Adrenaline crash.
Well, that was crazy 3 rounds. All right, well, congratulations. You did a great job, and we'll look forward to seeing you again, all right?
All right.
Mike Dove's going to have to go back and get himself a new nickname, because the People's Warrior is not going to be happy about him using that moniker and losing.
Oh, well, that's okay. With all the chicks you've seen he brought.
He does bring chicks, man. I'll give him that. He can be the People's Warrior. In fact, he reminds me of Josh in that regard.
Yeah, he does. You know what? That's okay. He can go home and they can tailor up his wounds. It's okay.
Right. Very, very nice. I got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. In your lightweight division, we're going to see the first of the Pancration Nation fighters come out here. WTF, Willie T. Finch, part of the Pancration Nation, coming out here. Who's he going up against?
That's a good texting thing. I like that one. Well, he's fighting Aaron Ring, and he's coming up from USA Stars Judo, and he's going to. Hey, we're going to see some judo in the ring today.
Very, very nice. Judo versus Pancration. Lightweight no holds barred. Check it out. We've already established the Pancration thing may or may not be a legitimate form or style of training that these folks have been doing over there in the Pancration Nation. They're more keyboard warriors, and in fact, there was only one of them really shooting his mouth off. The rest of them are just, all right, we're along for the ride. You got us into this, we're going to stick with you through it.
Yeah, ILHC Pancration Nation, Willie Finch, 6'0", and, you know, his very first fight in the cage.
All right. Well, you know, on the other hand, you got Aaron Ring here. I've got a sense that he might have been in some actually training. He looks like he has a little bit of background.
Yeah, 5'9", 154 pounds from Holiday, Utah, and I like the artwork on his body.
No, he's certainly no stranger to the tattoo parlor. There's no doubt about that.
So I know he's he can take a little bit of pain.
You know, I didn't even know they had tattoo parlors in Holiday, Utah.
I don't know. Let's see.
All right, Dave Sully said getting these two fighters started and a touch of gloves. And once again, you see right here, WTF kind of coaxing his opponent in right here, and he took a shot on the chin as a result.
Now, what is Pancration exactly? I'm not too familiar with it.
It is the oldest form of grappling. I think it was originated in Greece. And it's a very old style. The guys that do Pancration might be a little bit offended by the fact that some guys are here claiming to do it, because it's some stuff. The Shamrocks were became famous for their Pancration fighting. A couple big knees right there by Aaron Ring. And right now, I think WTF is thinking, WTF, what am I doing here?
Yeah, trying to get that single leg takedown, and he's just got his foot.
He sure wasn't thinking LOL, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
He's not giving up on this takedown. I'll give him credit there. He decided he was going to go in for a takedown, and he's not going to give up on it until he gets it. But, boy, right now he's just getting his neck wrung.
Oh, yeah. Well, man, I like to see from this position. I mean, can you punch their legs or do something? Or
there are some things you could do. He should probably drop down lower. Oh, Dave. Well, right there, that's a good thing. Dave's going to stop the action right there and get him back standing up, which is good. I was going to say you could drop down lower on the leg and then, you know, try to get that takedown, try to sweep the leg. A lot of things you can do under there.
Well, both of them trying to take each other down, but both having a hard time and keeping their balance. And
well, finally, we might have our takedown secured here. Maybe. It's close. It's darn close. And again, it kind of looks to me as though Aaron Ring he's had a little bit of training. He doesn't have a lot of jiu-jitsu training because he gave up full mount right there. And WTF is happy to take it. Now he's giving up his back. That's not good for anybody on the bottom, that's for sure. But I think he realized his mistake and is trying to turn back over. He's taking a couple of big shots right there.
And now he's up there and he's going to start raining down these punches, and he's going to be thinking to himself, LMAO.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's thinking. Well, an armbar attempt right here, and it looks like Willie Finch might have been a little bit, he gave up position there to go after this armbar. He might have it, though. He just might have it, Tony.
So how does jiu-jitsu play? I mean, not jiu-jitsu, but judo, because Aaron Ring comes from a judo background. How does that
judo fighters are always very good at takedowns and throws, and they're really good on their feet. They're well balanced, but you've got to have some ground once you get there to look for some submission. It doesn't look as though he's very adept on the ground, although he did look like he held his own on his feet. Round number 1 in the books, and pretty close round. I think you're going to have to give that round to Willie Finch. He got the takedown. He ended up getting a near submission, almost had an armbar at the end there, and a good round so far, but I'd give that 10-9 to Willie Finch.
All right, Willie Finch.
And, you know, keep in mind, everything I say means absolutely nothing to the official scorers. Willie Finch getting a little cocky, though. He's sticking his chin out there, and, boy, that's probably not well advised.
Yeah, because what I was going to ask is, like, especially with judo, I mean, don't they use the gis a lot? I mean, how does that affect not using the gi in this type of situation?
It's kind of like jiu-jitsu. A lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners only train with the gi, you know.
Okay.
I mean, so if you're going to be good with the gi, you want to train without it as well. And especially if you're going to do MMA, you're going to want to cross-train. So some people say the gi is kind of like a focus mitts are to boxers. It's a tool that makes you do everything correctly. So without the gi, he can still do his throws here. He can still do everything he would do in a judo match. It's just a little different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just because I'm so used to just seeing him grab onto the gi and throwing him like that. So
well, anytime you're grabbing on the gi, you can supplant that with an underhook or something like that would give you the same leverage. It's just different.
Okay. Well, so far, actually, he looks like he's fairly well-rounded. I mean,
he's well-rounded defensively. I haven't seen him attempt any, big throws or something you expect from a judo practitioner. He's done a good job of keeping his hips back and not being taken down. But at the same time, he hasn't defended or turned that defense into an offense in any way, shape, or form.
Right. It just looks like Willie's really the one really trying to press the action.
And he is too, boy. He's really going after it. And finally, it looks like he may secure another. Well, I thought he had it when he got the ankle there, but again, that's a testament to Aaron Ring. He's done a great job of keeping his hips back and really making Willie Finch work. This can wear you out. Being underneath a guy like that, trying to lift him up, it can wear you down.
It's just like being under a sprawl for all that time, almost.
All right, well, again, we find ourselves right back in that same position. It seems like, Willie Finch is very comfortable underneath there, although I don't know that maybe we want to try to set it up in a different way or something too, because we haven't had much success thus far.
Yeah.
Well, we've had limited success, but we haven't really been able to secure the takedowns we've been after.
Now, do you like it when guys come in like that with the head first like that?
No,
it just seems like it's like, here, give me a guillotine.
For a knee or a guillotine, absolutely. And that's what I'd like to see Aaron Ring do a little more. Just kind of get his head, there you go, throw some knees and make him pay for getting underneath there.
Yeah, because it just looks so tiring. It just looks so painful just coming in with your head in first like that all the time. And,
it's bad
nothing
athletic
improves.
Position for starters. It's poor athletic position for your head to be down like that. But he's done fairly well. And Dave again. I think Dave is doing a great job in this match here. Well,
he was grabbing the cage again.
And
he warned him. Yeah, he warned it earlier that, so that he's going to take it away from Finch. So he's going to be down.
A horrible job.
Oh, looks changed in. I think.
Well, that does. That makes a huge difference. All this work that Willie Finch has done in this round. He's shot in. He's battled for that takedown throughout the entire round, and that is completely negated by that call there. And I didn't see the cage grabbing. If he was gaining an advantage from that, totally a good call. But boy, that's a tough one to do, and you got to expect this is a 9-9 round at this point. With the first round going to Willie Finch, it's anybody's ball game.
So how much does that affect, like that 1 point?
It's a 10-point must system. So right there, that negated all the other work that Willie Finch had done. That one call there negated everything.
That was a nice little kick to the face there.
It was a good
little punch. Hey, this is what I like to see.
Now we're starting to see some stuff on their feet, and this is what we've been expecting.
Maybe he thinks, hey, I'm down 1 point, and
enough hugging and squeezing and twisting. Let's start punching and kicking.
That's what I like to see. No elbows.
David admonishing him, you can't strike downward with the elbow.
Man, he's just in that same position with his.
Oh, now he's got his
look
back.
at that.
And this is bad right there. Well, that is how quickly things could turn around in an MMA match. And I got to tell you, I think Willie Finch was winning the fight up to that point. But right there, it just takes one mistake. And boy, Aaron Ring happy to capitalize on that and gets a big win right there.
No, that's great. And just remember, keep your head out of your opponents.
Keep your head up.
Yep.
Have your custom website designed for only $399 at www.399designs.com. So what does the Pancration Nation have to do to get that takedown and get it done next time?
Well, Pancration is all about striking and submissions. We didn't really practice takedowns.
Okay, well, there's a flaw in the ointment. I got to tell you though, right now, I have really enjoyed having you guys in the show. You guys came out here, and if nothing else, you entertained the folks. You put on a hell of a show tonight. Tonight you were good, just not good enough. Anybody out there you want to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to my father-in-law, Clubfoot Dixon Bringhurst over here. He taught me everything I know.
What about Jesus? You gonna thank Jesus?
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy too. I like him.
Solid. That guy's solid. Hey, you know what? I like the hell out of you guys. Come back and do it again.
Thank you. I'll be back.
Tyler Allred's law firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555.
All right, well, looks like you've done this a few times before. How many times have you fought?
This is the first.
No way. Where are you training?
I train out of USA Stars Judo Club and Studio Cove Fitness.
Wow, well, they must be training you really well there. You gonna do this again?
Yeah, I plan on it.
What's next for you?
Get better.
You're pretty good there. I don't know. I guess you can keep trying. So anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank my cornermen, everybody that came out to support me, my family, and Black House Records. They're one of my sponsors, and they're doing a show on the 29th at Moe's Bar and Grill. So come on out.
All right, we will. Hey, thanks for being a part of the experience, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Well, the Pancration Nation is 0-1 thus far. Willie T. Finch not quite getting it done, but his ring kid looked pretty tough.
No, he did, and I'd like to see him come back. You know, he got that. That was a struggling 3-rounder there. That's, you know, come back.
I'm telling you, get through one of those, and then everything from there is much, much easier. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Stick around. In your middleweight division, got a kid who, in my opinion, has the best nickname I've heard in a while, the Penetrator. The Penetrator. Another of the Pancration Nation, Mr. Skinner. Who's he fighting?
Do you think he can penetrate concrete?
I sure hope so.
Well, we got Casey Gordon coming in. We've seen him fight once. This is going to be his second fight. He won his first fight, and he looks really tough.
No, both these guys, I think it's a great matchup. You're going to like this one. Middleweight, no holds barred. Check it out. Now, I got to tell you, this Casey Gordon guy is one of my really new-time favorites here in the show. He's a hard-working guy, just a blue-collar fighter. And, you know, Brad the Penetrator Skinner, he looks kind of be of the same ilk, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he is 5'10", 155 pounds, South Jordan, Utah. Again, from the Pancration Nation, and known as the Penetrator.
That's what I love, the Penetrator. And you mentioned, Tony, can he penetrate concrete? That's the big question that we're all going to be asking ourselves. Now, I always kind of tell ladies when I meet them that, man, I'm not all that great, but I can penetrate concrete.
This kid, 5'8", 180 pounds, from Highland, Utah, and man, he's sporting a nice do there.
Casey doesn't even want to look in his eyes, man. He's looking right past him.
Yeah,
looking right
ready to go.
Nice, very nice. Okay, good stuff here.
Well, this should be fun. I've seen these guys backstage, and they both talk well, and I can't wait to see the
This was
flying,
a fight
man.
since the weigh-ins. I mean, just last night, it just kind of seemed as though this is a fight I was excited to see.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Nice
Big knee right there.
Oh,
Casey Gordon caught
man.
Brad Skinner with a big knee.
Ooh.
And it buckled him. And right, well, you know, Skinner's still in the game. I got to tell you, Casey Gordon's got to get around, get his hooks in. Instead, he's just going to kind of try to cattle wrestle him over.
Let's bring him on top over here.
We got to get this Casey Gordon in the gym, man. This kid's a good-looking kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
He just did all the wrong things right there. He could have ended this fight, I believe. Now he's lost the battle of the hips, and Brad Skinner comes around up on top, and it looks like he might still be just a little bit rattled from that knee.
Yeah, that was a big knee. You just see his face pop back, and man, that wasn't.
I'm not sure where the blood's coming from. It looks like Casey Gordon's got some blood on his forehead, and I'm not sure it's coming down from Brad or if he's cut. Well, maybe he's just red. He's a red skin. No, there's blood there. Now it looks like Casey Gordon's nose is bleeding pretty profusely.
Wow.
I didn't see the shot.
Me neither.
Apparently it was a good one.
All right, now.
Here's the old head squeeze we were talking about a minute ago. And again, I think this Casey Gordon kid gets into a gym and he could be dangerous. He's a super strong kid. He just got to learn some things, you know, and hanging on a guy's head and squeezing it, it's not what you want to be doing in this position.
No, and just taking a little knee there from old Brad.
Brad Skinner doing the right things. He's being very patient. He's pushing out with that left hand. He's winding up and throwing a knee every now and then. He's got an arm that he could go after right there, but I don't think he recognized that. But you know, he's being very patient. He's still peppering this kid with shots, and he's staying busy and do a little ground and pound.
Oh, no.
Well, right there,
whoa.
they both kind of popped up at the same time. And I think Dave is going to rule that Brad Skinner was still on his knees, therefore he can't be hit by Casey Gordon.
He's going to give him 5 minutes to recover if he can.
Yeah, well, he did kind of jump the gun there. And just for clarification, folks,
right there,
in Utah, these guys, unless they've had at least 10 fights, they cannot strike. A standing striker cannot strike a down opponent.
Oh, there's Loving the Can. He's saying there's no way that his brother can continue, so they're going to wave it off.
Stopping the fight, which makes it interesting. Okay, I think this makes this a no contest, is what that is. Okay, so the official ruling is this fight never happened, Tony.
I didn't see anything. Did you?
This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
This leaves it open for a rematch, which I'm sure everyone here would love to see, including myself. So you did an excellent job today. Props to you, props to him as well. We hope to see you guys both out of here again. Is there anyone that you need to thank?
I'll thank him. I'm just sorry, dude. And I thank my fans, my corner up here. Thanks, guys, for coming out and watching me.
Thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you again, all right? Take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Got another one of the Pancration Nation guys coming out here. Dayne Skinner calls himself H1N1, the swine flu, man. Who's he going up against?
Well, he's going up against Aaron Garcia's newcomer, Nick Martinez from California, known as Malibu.
We've seen him before. This is a good-looking kid. I'm looking forward to this one. Middleweight, no holds barred. Check it out. Oh, Malibu Nick Martinez, he's got all that old California boy look, doesn't he? But now Dayne Skinner calls himself H1N1.
He's coming in, man. He wants to be the pig flu, huh?
He's H1N1, Tony.
Either that or Heine.
You know what? Yeah, maybe that's what he's trying to be, Heine.
Yeah, look at his shorts. He's 5'11", 185 pounds.
Just because his Heine looks good in those shorts,
Yeah,
that
look
you're
at
saying,
that.
Tony?
Yeah, look at that.
Right.
It's good.
All right, well, now Malibu Nick Martinez, he's shucking and jiving and shirking and jerking and moving all over the place.
Man,
here.
and he's 6'2", 185 pounds, and Oceanside, California, but now here in Utah.
Training down with the folks down there in Payson, Team Unbreakable. Those guys have been really pumping out the fighters of late. They put out some really good-looking kids, and Aaron Garcia sure does a good job with those guys down there.
I remember this Nick Martinez kid, man. He was a fireball when he first fought.
I'm not gonna lie, Tony. His Heine does look good in those shorts.
It's good.
I'm just gonna have to agree with you.
Yeah, punches are all over the place here. This is what I like to see. Finally, a stand-up fight with a lot of punches
And
thrown.
I'm distracted by the Heine.
Oh,
so was he apparently. My goodness. That's gonna do it right there. Well, Heine, Dayne Skinner.
Oh, I gotta see this again.
Okay.
And we got Mr. Lefty right there.
Ding.
Oh my gosh, that was
All right.
such a short little
Nice,
left. Bang.
Body shot there, and followed up with a big left hand. Dave Selly's doing a good job of getting in there, so no more.
Oh man, this is
damage
terrible
was
for the
inflicted.
Skinners.
He's like, what? What happened? What? I got the swine flu? What? What happened? All right, Malibu Nick. All right, big successful visit to the cage here tonight.
Well, he knocked out the swine flu.
Yeah, well, finally you knocked out the swine flu. This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people. What happened, and what are we going to do to make it sure it doesn't happen again?
I don't know. I remember swinging, and then I remember getting up.
Watch this. Watch this. Tuck your chin in. Tuck it in. Tuck it.
I wish you would tell me.
No, listen. You brought the shorts. You brought the look. You had it going on. You just didn't do the chin tuck.
Thanks.
All right. So tonight you were good, just not good enough. You came out and did it though. Keep that chin tucked in, my man.
I'll do that next time.
You're a good sport. Thanks, brother. Have your custom website designed for only $399 at www.399designs.com.
All right, congratulations, good fight there. Training over at Team Unbreakable. What are they teaching you over there?
Everything, just how to fight hardcore and be a great person all overall. There's no limits when it comes to Aaron Garcia.
This is true, I know. That's good. Well, congratulations, you're doing a great job. You had a wonderful fight today. What are your plans for the future?
Just stick with Team Unbreakable, you know, nothing but the best for us, and we're going big places, so just stick with them. Go Aaron.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the experience, and we look forward to seeing you again.
All right, thank you for having me.
You know what, man, it didn't go too well for the Pancration Nation. Let's see what happens.
You know, it was great having him here, though, and we're not going to be able to see one of the Pancration Nation guys fight tonight because of time. We'll get it on the next time we fight. Love in a Can, the guy that got it all started, isn't going to be able to fight, but unfortunately, we still have that cutting room floor. We'll put you back on. We've got our main event coming up. Tony, you want to stick around for that? Scrappy James Francis is a kid that, you know, I've just seen him get better and better and better, and his confidence right now is through the roof. But speaking of a guy who's got a lot of confidence, Jorge Molina.
Oh man, we got the Aztec Warrior, Jorge Molina, coming with Aaron Garcia.
And it's nice to have him back with Aaron Garcia. They kind of parted ways for a little while. He's back, I think, where he needs to be over there training with Timo Brick.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see this. I know he's got some good hands. He's got some good speed. A little questionable on the ground, but let's see what Scrappy has in store.
That's where Scrappy has his strong point. So this should be an interesting matchup at your main event. Check it out. You know, we had a lot of great matchups tonight, it seems. You know, just we didn't necessarily see some of the top talent in the area, but it seems like all the matches have been very, very good, and this is no exception. And I think you're going to see the talent level rise a little bit. Both these guys, they're good-looking fighters. They both have some very good fundamentals. As we mentioned in the open, though, that Scrappy's got a little better fundamentals on the ground.
Yeah, 5'10", 155 pounds from Body Dynamics. We got Scrappy.
Speaking of a dynamic body, look at that. The Aztec Warrior, Jorge Molina. Now, his fundamentals are certainly much better on the ground, on his feet, rather.
Wow. The Aztec Warrior makes his return, and that's good. And
speaking of making his return, Sugarloaf is making his return as your referee for this contest.
Oh, he's been doing quite a bit of roughing lately.
What would an episode of the UCE be without his ugly mug?
Yeah. Well, it's good to see him in there. He's doing a pretty good job.
I think he's done a great job. I really do. I think he's got a tremendous future since his
nice one too.
Fighting career sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was a nice couple combinations right there by Jorge Molina. But this is what I'm impressed with, is that Scrappy walked right through those punches. I mean, he took him on the chin and kept coming and ultimately secured a takedown.
Yeah, and Jorge Molina is just really, really tall too, and so he usually can keep people back. And look at Scrappy jumping up there for a flying rear naked choke as Jorge Molina circles around, and Sugarloaf gets him back on their feet.
And right there, Scrappy very wisely ducking his head and going in. That winds up on the bottom, though. Jorge Molina up on top in the guard, however, of James Scrappy.
Oof. Just kind of posted up on his chin there and threw that nice little right.
Well, he's trying to posture up here, you know. And again, I know that Aaron Garcia has been working with Jorge on his ground, and you know he's relatively new at it, but you know he's at least getting the basics down. Right there, that's exactly what you need to do to stop a good submission artist, is just pound his face.
Yeah, and I can hear Aaron in the corner just telling him to get out of that, get out from inside his guard there.
He's left an arm behind. He got out but left something, and that's not good.
Get out of there.
And you see Scrappy doing a really good job keeping that guard real tight there. I don't like to see him crossing his feet right there, but
well, one thing that Aaron Garcia was really worried about was the armbar and his triangles, and he knows he's been
on there, Tony. And I think this fight could be over. Jorge doing a good job of thumbing out, but boy, that was close.
There he goes. Ooh.
Off
to the side. That's good.
Continues to pound away, but he's got to get that arm out of there. There you go. And what I'd really like to see him do is, well, he's back in his guard.
Yeah.
He's got to pass guard, and now he's in trouble again.
Oh, you can just see. I mean, you can just hear
this right
Aaron
here.
Just telling
the toes in the cage now. That's illegal. You cannot do that.
Wow, you have to have some pretty strong toes.
Yeah, well, that's just a new rule. It just barely got passed. You see right here,
it looks as though the cage too.
Yeah, Jorge's grabbing the fence, and but he's in. They're not going to stop this for that because he's in the bad spot. And this triangle seems like it's just getting tighter and tighter.
No, this is where Aaron's just going crazy. He's just telling him, get out of there, get out of there.
Well,
you gotta...
pulling back is the bad thing, and he's trying to pull out. And when he does that, he's actually making it tighter. And that's you can see as time goes on, this thing is just tightening.
What's the defense to this?
Well, don't get in it. Let's start there. But he's in a bad position here. He's really in a bad position.
I think he's just trying to punch down with those hammer blows into his face.
To take his left arm and wrap it around his body and just try to create a little bit of space there to breathe and get some blood flow through.
Well, he's got about
10 seconds, man. He might just endure this. This is going to be there's a tap right there.
There it is.
Wow.
He's not going to like that.
Well, and he shouldn't like that. I mean, that was a bad spot. He knew that was the bad spot. He knew one place he didn't want to be was in the guard of Scrappy. James Francis.
Come on, brother.
He's such a good kid, old James. He's a nice kid. You can't help but like him, even when he just choked out.
See James Francis get a win under his belt there.
Yeah, he's had a few wins. He's kind of on a little bit of a roll here. I think the kid's looking pretty good, and he beat a pretty tough kid tonight in Jorge Molina. And boy, he's got to feel pretty good about that.
Well, his face is a little bit bruised, but you know what? It just adds to his nickname, Scrappy.
It is. That was a very scrappy performance. Tyler Allred's law firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555. I was just looking at both these fighters' faces, and if you were to see them, you never would have guessed you lost that fight, Jorge. What happened, man?
Yeah, well, he was a tough opponent. You know, I hit him with some ridiculously hard shots.
That first shot was on the button.
I really don't know how he was able to take him. I was very surprised. You know, he must train real hard.
You know, honestly, he's just kind of dumb like that. I mean, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. He's a kid that he's a rough and tumble kid that can take some punishment. And yeah, I was surprised he walked through those as well.
Yeah, me too. You know, but what can I say? You know, I take my hat off to him. He trained real hard for this fight, and unfortunately for me, he won.
Jorge, tonight you were good, just not good enough. I hope you come back and do it again. I really like when you come to the show.
Okay, thanks, Mike, for having me. I want to thank God for keeping me nice and healthy, and both of us are not injured. And I want to thank my trainer, Aaron Garcia, for training me real hard, and I want to apologize to him. I also want to thank Elite Fitness Center in Payson, Trike Bikes out of Payson as well. The great Mexican food in Payson. People got to go when you're down there. It's Cuatro Amigos Mexican restaurant.
Who would have thunk it, man? I'll tell you, first of all, I want to second what you're saying about Aaron. He loves his fighters. He does a lot of great things for you guys, so you're in a good spot. Stay there, brother.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike, for having us again, man.
Okay, man. This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
I mean, I trained decent on stand-up, but I got really nervous, and he hit me with that right cross, and I was like, crap. And I just shot in, took him down, and I was very persistent. I was like, if I get to the ground, I know I can win. And he just has a lot of heart, and he punches still from every position. And then I got him my guard, and I like the triangles. I tend to win with that a lot. And he just kept pounding away. I was like, I better just keep squeezing. Got nothing left.
Well, that must be why they call you Scrappy. I mean, you're just all-around good fighter, and you can take a punch, obviously. So all you other fighters out there that are watching this fight know that, you know, if you fight him, it's not going to be easy at all. So congratulations. Good job on your fight. We're very, very proud of you, and we love to have you here in Ultimate Combat. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, you know, I want to thank my coaches, Chris Kenny, Nick Curtis, and little brother up at Body Dynamics in Sandy. They train me hard every day. And they also leave me to train on my own conditioning now. I want to thank Jorge and his team for taking this fight. I know he trains hard. I got punched in the face a crap load of times. And you know, I want to thank the UCE for letting me fight here. You know, without Stidham throwing these fights, I wouldn't be standing here. That's it.
All right, thank you so much. We love having you a part of the experience too, so we can't wait to see you again.
Thank you.
I was going to put a wrap on things tonight, man. It didn't work out so well for old Jorge Molina tonight.
No, he didn't. He was pounding away, and just a few seconds left, 9 seconds left to go, and he gets choked out with that guillotine. I mean, not guillotine, the triangle.
No, it is what it is, what it is. All right, it was a pretty good night of fights tonight, and I want to thank once again Levin Ken and his crew coming out here and being part of the Ultimate Combat experience. But next week, we've got a fight you definitely don't want to miss. Who's going to be in our main event next week, Tony?
Oh, we got the Sugar Shorts, Sugarloaf, going against Lord Vice in a kind of a stand-up, more of a stand-up fight.
They've agreed to modified MMA terms. They're gonna fight with MMA gloves, but they're just gonna stand up and bang. So you're gonna want to tune in for that one next week. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience. We'll see you next week.